This is Mac OS Ken.
iPhone takes the top spot in Europe, a new round of OS betas for developers, and where in the world is Tim Cook's Tim Cook? It is Wednesday, the 21st of February, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSCan. iPhone has kicked Samsung out of the top spot in Europe for the first time in a couple of years. That is the word from market tracker Canalys. According to a press release from the firm, while smartphone shipments in the region fell 3% year-on-year, Apple returned to the lead position after 7 quarters behind Samsung, growing 1% year-on-year to 12.4 million units. Samsung took the second spot, declining 12% to 10.8 million. With iPhone taking top spot, hearing high praise for the high end is not surprising. According to one Canalys exec, high-end smartphones took a record share of the European market in the fourth quarter. Almost 40% of smartphone shipments were priced at $800 US or higher. The dominance of the high-end was mainly fueled by strong iPhone 15 Pro demand, alongside consistent Galaxy S volumes and growing Google Pixels. Worth noting, Apple was tops for the December quarter by the firm's reckoning, not for the year. Samsung was still the largest vendor throughout 2023, according to Canalys. If you get a device from the iPhone 15 line, congratulations. Somehow your battery has gotten better. Apple Insider says the Cupertino company has updated its expectations for battery life of the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro, with the company saying it will deliver twice the previously predicted charge cycles. Generally, indications are that iPhone batteries should hold up to 80% of their original capacity following 500 complete charge cycles, according to the piece. The company has updated that stat for its latest phones, saying that they should hold up to 80% of their original capacity following 1,000 complete charge cycles. The new stats are for all 4 models in the iPhone 15 line: the Standard, Plus, Pro, and iPhone 15 Pro Max. More OS betas have landed in the hands of developers. Mac Rumors says Apple on Tuesday seeded the 4th betas of iOS and iPadOS 17.4 to members of its developer program. They were joined by the 4th developer betas of macOS Sonoma 14.4, watchOS 10.4, tvOS 17.4, and the 3rd developer beta of visionOS 1.1. Stated longevity wasn't the only thing new for Cupertino's battery side. Another piece from Mac Rumors says the latest iOS 17.4 beta makes it easier to access info on battery health. These changes are only for the iPhone 15 line. Battery settings have not changed on older iPhone models, according to the report. The iOS update also brings a CarPlay change that's kind of hard to grok without actually seeing it. According to another piece from Mac Rumors, there is now an Apple Maps option to show information about upcoming maneuvers in the instrument cluster. CarPlay users will be able to swap the display type between the main and instrument cluster by tapping on the map configuration button located in the upper right of the main Maps screen. With the update, the report says the driver display will optionally display turn-by-turn directions so that CarPlay users can navigate without having to look away from the display directly in front of them. As I say, it's kind of hard to grok without actually seeing it. Attention people of the United Kingdom. If you see some people walking down the road with teched-out backpacks, try not to run them over. Actually, that's good advice for anybody you see. But if you hit these particular people, you will be wrecking the future of Apple Maps in your area. iMore says the Cupertino cartographers are kicking off an 8-month push to improve the service. Starting today, the piece says UK residents will see Apple vehicles driving around the country gathering information as part of the company's ongoing rebuild of Apple Maps. The driving portion of Apple's expedition will run through the middle of October. Additionally, people wearing Apple backpacks will be walking the streets of Birmingham, London, and Manchester. They'll be hoofing it from the latter part of May through the middle of September. Try not to run them over. Where in the world is Tim Cook's Tim Cook? Well, I don't know right now, but earlier this week, he was in Taiwan. Bloomberg says Apple COO Jeff Williams made the trip to help celebrate the 50th anniversary of the founding of Foxconn at an event hosted by Foxconn chairman Young Liu. Other notables reportedly in attendance included Apple Senior VP of Operations Sabi Khan, Software CEO Masayoshi Son, and ARM Holdings head Rene Haas. It's not a common trip for Williams, though not unprecedented. His last trip to Taiwan was in 2017 to celebrate the 30th anniversary of TSMC. And how often has Apple CEO Tim Cook been to Taiwan? He hasn't, at least not since he became CEO. According to Bloomberg, Cook makes regular trips to China, which hosts Apple's key production base and is one of the firm's largest markets, but he's mostly avoided Taiwan, and he last made a public appearance on the island in 2008 for the wedding of Foxconn founder Terry Gou. Two bits of news around Apple Music today. First, a report from iDownload blog says Apple's audio streamer is testing a feature to import songs and playlists from competing music services. According to the report, specialized third-party services like SongShift let users transfer their liked songs and playlists from Spotify to Apple Music in just a few clicks. Apple has now partnered with SongShift to offer this functionality through the built-in music app. That's the word from some Reddit testers anyway. They've apparently seen a pop-up in the latest Apple Music for Android beta, offering to add saved music and playlists made in other music services to their Apple Music library. That can also be triggered via in-app settings, according to the report. Since the feature is not live, iDownload blog can't say for certain which competing services are supported. That said, SongShift says that it supports a number of music streamers, including Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Tidal, Pandora, Deezer, and others. The replay feature in Apple Music is moving more quickly. Once an annual thing, it was just a few weeks ago that we heard that Replay 2024 was already available. Rather than waiting for the end of the year, Replay 2024 will keep a running list of the top 100 tracks listened to by a user from month to month to month. But maybe that's not what you want. Rather than an evolving list, maybe you want to remember what was rocking your world for a particular month. January, maybe. Or February. Hey, how about March? That's a good one. I could do this 9 more times. Anyway, maybe you want a particular month. A piece from Engadget says the service now has you covered. According to the report, Apple Music is now offering a monthly version of Replay. The evolving Replay list will still be there, though the monthly option should offer a more granular look at one's listening history, according to the report. Now, I feel like I listen to a decent amount of music. That is an opinion not shared by Apple Music. When I went to check my top tracks for January, the service greeted me with the message, "You didn't listen enough this month." Felt kind of harsh. Premiering today on Apple TV Plus, a docuseries and a trippy drama. On the docu side, have you guys heard of this cat, Lionel Messi? According to Apple, the highly anticipated 4-part documentary about the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner and 5-time FIFA World Cup player hits Apple TV Plus today. The streamer says Messi's World Cup, the rise of a legend, highlights the thrilling story of the planet's top living athlete, his loyal supporters across Argentina, and those who made the pilgrimage across the globe to witness his epic 2022 World Cup win. It's unclear whether all 4 episodes will hit today or will be doled out week by week. You know what, though? That's going to be a fun thing for you to find out. I'm guessing all 4 episodes today, but that's just a guess. And finally today, for something less kicky, more trippy, the conspiracy-based psychological thriller Constellation starts its run on Apple TV Plus today as well. The Noomi Rapace, Jonathan Banks series centers on Joe, an astronaut who returns to Earth after a disaster in space, only to discover that key pieces of her life seem to be missing. Apple says the show is an exploration of the dark edges of human psychology. Or is it? We got 8 episodes to find out. The first 3 of those premiere today on Apple TV+. macOS Can, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Can. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.